Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. That's kind of what I've been saying for a couple decades now, and the people that do it think they're protected enough not to have it happen. And in a lot of circumstances, yes, they've not had to pay for all of the crime, death, violence, and hardship they've caused, but that would be an untruth about the fact that they're absolutely protected. Many officers have set up a scenario, whether they're harassing somebody physically, psychologically, or metaphysically, where they were killed by the person they wanted to kill. And they got an opportunity to kill him. You ever see that where they exchange gunshots? So again, it's not every one of those scenarios, but it is some of those scenarios. So again, it was very strange. I woke up and God focused me on Mickey Mouse Fantasia and says that's what's going on. And if you don't know anything, Mickey Mouse was the sorcerer's apprentice, and he made a mess by moving magic and couldn't control the results of his magic. Some people call it magic. Some people are willfully ignorant, saying they're not doing anything, but they keep doing it and it keeps happening. Okay, I got a message from the vehicle in front of me. It's slow down. Not to me, because any message you send to me, it's not going to be about me. It's going to be about something else or nonsense. So and the license plate 474 GKG. So GK was Marshall McKinney, and J is Army. So I'm not sure what they're getting at. They try to make it mean J as in J Moon, but it actually means Army. So I don't know if the Satan put that there or Satan and them put that there. But again, they are Satan, so there is no difference. I don't care how many times they save someone's life. It's just metaphysical, the reality of the metaphysics. Reality of what they're doing physically is that they're causing crime. And at that point, you can't be credited with saving people from crime or anything else for that matter. And, I get messages. I know they took out officers in your command and things such as that. So, on my way here, trying to get into an apartment somewhere. If the FBI did their job, we got about 10 people harassed and trying to get unlawful access to a place I would reside. This go around. Necessarily. Good case. Yeah, state could do it too. There's probably a couple of charges they can. I mean, to begin with, it's stalking. So again, you could always hit them with a stalking charge. Make sure. Everybody has a stalking charge. The state. I don't know if local does, but state and federal. But local is state usually. We could do that, right? Let's make our own charge. Just in case the state freaks out and is afraid of them, won't charge. Let's make some local stalking charges. And arrest the criminal spycraft operators that some call the deep state. But again, Trump's the deep state, so it's not, what he says it is. So what's happening is people are willing things, and then other things are happening off of it. Again, you leave it to God. And in a human mind, they might say, well, I left it to God and this happened. Well, if you didn't leave it to God, it would have been worse. And I go, well, an instance over here that Satan showed me how it was better if I did something. Well, it's not the same thing. It's always better just to leave it to God, because we wouldn't even be where we are right now if you had left it to God. You've been much better. Now, I can't guarantee you that one of these murderers that's in the deep state wouldn't be in prison. Right? But before you accept and join that thing, that secret society garbage, remember that will be you one day. You'll have to protect yourself from going to prison. And then you'll do all sorts of demonic and evil things to people. And in fact, not everybody would go to prison. They'd start slow. If you notice with Trump and all them, they're starting as slow as they can. I can't tell if I was supposed to exit there. No, I wasn't. Right. Well, it's been years that we've been starting, speaking about, hey, don't do this, hey, don't do that. Right. Now, again, you have people that use that for political purposes, which kind of discredits the entire thing. People are like, well, it's just politics. No, it's not just politics. It's what Trump likes to call law and order, but of course Trump doesn't believe in law and order. He believes in racketeering, extortion, strong arming, and he calls that law and order. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, bro. There was an apartment yesterday that I didn't see was available. I went over there, looked at the one that was up front, and the idea is they probably would let me do arts and crafts on my deck, balcony or patio, whatever they call it. But it was up by the office, and I'm sure they don't want me across from their office spray painting something, That kind of took me away from that. But yet there was another similar apartment available that was first floor, probably somewhere else in the development. But it was a bit more. There weren't as many options. Like with this one, if I want a storage unit or other thing, it wouldn't matter. Did you put the popo past me, or does he just happen to be here? Don't be sliding popo past people because you're testing their reaction. Again, based upon what's happened over the last so many years of my life, it's absolutely corruption, it's absolutely criminal, and it's absolutely extortion and racketeering, or racketeering extortion. Continue on Switzer Road for 1 mile. You're not protecting anything other than your own criminal enterprise, all of it. That's for sure. Well, why couldn't it mean something good? Because you projected something evil. So that you sent the message. I didn't imagine the messages. In fact, if I ignore your messages, you make sure I know what the message is, right? So again, in reality, officers that are requiring somebody to die or to kill somebody are actually killing law enforcement officers all day. What the hell? Look, they spoofed me. Oh no, they did. I see what it's saying. I thought they spoofed me. No, that isn't the blue line or anything like that. It's organized crime, racketeering, narcotics distribution, sex trafficking. If all you do is follow people around all day and extort them, you're extorting people. You're doing that much. You're empowering narcotics distribution. You're empowering sex trafficking. You're empowering every crime that ever could be committed, because that's what it's designed to do, number one. Number two, that's where it goes in the end. You have people here that you do that for even, and they're related to sex trafficking and narcotics distribution. And some of them are pedophiles that pay you to make a false pedophile somewhere or a false rapist somewhere. We're too busy to investigate that person that actually committed the crime. Good, we got to go after this person. He's the most dangerous person in the world. In fact, he's grooming us right now, trying to have sex with us. Oh, you don't find it funny, all of you? For once? I developed a organized crime entity in law enforcement. Well, I think Bernie Kerik made money. He's an organized crime figure. He just has people that are he's a made man. He has little street soldiers and lieutenants and stuff that run around. Some of them in police cars. Yet he's related to who? That guy that sexually abused those 3 or 4 girls. Had one working as a prostitute. Well, he finally got arrested, yeah. But where did he learn all that stuff? From Bernie Kerik and his people? The NYPD. He was an NYPD civilian crony. That's really who he is. I didn't see anything here. So it looks good. The area I'm in right now looks good. Young girl walking around across the street, maybe anywhere from 16 to 22. Nothing weird on it. So if anybody is cursed to commit a sex crime, they won't even see the inference to do something. There still is something weird over by Blue Valley Montessori, but it's not as bad as it was. It was like gasping for air, so it's still the same thing or similar thing, right?
Turn right onto West 136th Street, then your destination will be on the left.
There's only a few things it could be. The most common would obviously be some sort of fire. The question is, how does the fire get started? And that would have been like something like smoke inhalation. But yet, there are other more heinous crimes. Correct. Got a nice speed limit in here. Nice speed limit in here. Father God approves of the speed limit. No, don't tell me that's how you do the thing. You know what you're doing, all of you. And you know you're going to be rich one day if you do it the right way. If you kill enough people. I mean, some of these people had their best friends killed and they didn't care. They were going up. That's all they know. But in the end, they'll go down. So again, part of taking Trump down is also beginning in that direction. Now, I'm not telling you DOJ is decided to become anti-deep state. I mean, Trump's deep state also. So don't let them use that scam on you. But they're just different. Like it's like gangland battles. The DOJ is one group of Trump went after people. If he could have went after people even more, he would have. 100%. Given his second presidency, a second term, he'd have done it, even without having anything happen to him. Was it wrong what Strazak did? Yeah, I said that before, but that doesn't allow you to be a crook. Like Trump's a bizarre character, and there's other people do the same thing. That's like a deep state mindset. They get the other person to do something or say something. That's why we're doing it. Yet they spent already 5-10 years doing it, right? Trump's cake his whole life. Trump's been deep state. Trump's NYPD deep state. For sure. Yeah, I mean, even if I got $1 million house, God's not going to let y'all up completely. I'm 59 years old. You did this since I was 28, at least since I was 28. Of course, I didn't see you for like the first like 15 years, I guess. And actually, about 10 years, I guess. I mean, I saw you, but I didn't see you. Right. Who'd have thought your coworkers were devils, man? I mean, come on, pieces of garbage. Okay, bro. It's interesting. That construction around here is interesting. The majority of places got it right, but some got it wrong. Right. Well, people are gravitating away from buildings that have like a common entrance and hallways. They're more difficult to keep clean, also. Right. I mean, the apartment itself is more difficult if it has an outside entrance, but the actual hallway and all that, you got to keep the hallways clean, and they're building some new ones like that. I mean, the what are they, the climate people or whatever, conservation people, they're into that, so they build that, right? It probably takes less, and you can actually save money and utilities on that type of place, but right. So what happened is this: I paid OG&E, no doubt. My final bill, I paid it, but I may have, and again, this is where Spycraft comes in. I may have not hit some, like the last submit button, right? So it may not have been paid. But what they can do is make sure that it reverts to not being paid. So what happens is OG&E doesn't send me anything, nothing at all. Forwarded my mail and everything. How many months passed on me? By luck, I looked at my voicemail, and there's this person calling, collecting for it's debt collection. I said it has to be medical. I didn't miss any payments anywhere. And they said, well, it's OG&E. I said, well, I thought I paid that, and I paid it through OG&E right away. But why wouldn't they send me a letter? Somebody set it up. Well, because no, it's not because of anything I've ever done. It's because it's something that you are that will one day go to hell. So they're in the banks, they're in the utilities. Just like the Bible's had prophesied. What that is, that's like a fear thing. Oh, we're in the banks. We're no GD. You're nobody. They all crooks, man. They all crooks. That's why the world's messed up. Oh, but we've saved so many children. It's an illusion. Just like giving charity after you cause people to be poor. Oh, there they are. Hey, I made your phone fall. Ah! They're weirdos, man. All of them are weirdos. Not a single one of them's normal.
Take the next left onto West 144th Place, then turn left onto South Cody Street.
It's just like the thing where you got people that have PTSD and they're married to people that don't have PTSD, and the person they're married to gets PTSD. But these people are narcissists, so they're actually worse than somebody that just has simple PTSD because they're trying to make the other person have more issues than they do, including death.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto West 146th Street.
No, of course, I told you already. It could be Satan. It could just be happenstance. Right. Not all of it, though. Again, I know it exists. So when I say that, oh, see, it's just a figment of his imagination. We don't exist. We know we killed Jonathan Luna, but we didn't actually do it because we say it's a figment. Because he happened to say something. We know what he was saying, but we're going to twist it into what we want it to mean. Again, that in itself is a form of fraud, especially on official business. So again, if a Republican gets in there, I mean, it's just a fact of life. They're going to pardon all the J6 people. That's going to destroy law and order. They don't care because their whole goal is to create a secret society of criminals that strong arms and steals the world. So don't let them lull you into a false sense of security that if you get somebody in that's not going to do it. I mean, Pence might be the only one that wouldn't do it, and of course he's nowhere near it, right? By design. Pence is probably. I mean, I don't agree with Pence completely because I believe his idea of safety net is dangerous, but he's probably the closest thing to the previous Republican Party that was. And Trump will go, they were all rhinos. What's that mean? They don't strong arm. They don't steal it. At the level. I mean, they all get rich based upon corrupt methods, but yet they're not interested in destroying people to get rich. I mean, not to say they haven't, but to say that it's what do they call it? It's throttled so much, right? Not throttled. What's the word I'm looking for? Muted in a certain way. It's not the way it is now. No, they're out now killing people, man. They think it's funny. Half the people they kill don't even know they're there. That's how twisted they are in the mind.
Continue on South Quivira Road for 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, but we took over the church, huh? They want to say, but the church is with us, right? Hey, strong armed and psychologically operated and bribed till they owned the church. Now the church will tell you that they're good and you're evil because they affect your life. It causes you to sin. Yet they sin all day. Don't let them make you think that they're virgins.
Turn right onto West 137th Street.
And the ones they do have that are virgins are wacko. They need to actually go have sex somewhere with a husband or a wife and get a normal wife.
Take the next right onto West 137th Street.
Actually, sexuality is designed to relax people, right? Oh shit! Just, it occurs to me from getting there. I went out for a little bit of drive. I was going to go to the other place and look at the other apartment, and I could do it. I mean, I could drop, not moving in here in a second, not worry about it. Right? If I felt I wanted to move in another apartment. Corruption's never good. Never good.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right onto Enon Road.
Never made it better. What are you all talking about? Oh, I remember this one case where it made it better. That case wouldn't even exist if you weren't corrupt. We'd have healed most of the crime away. That's the problem. Is you heal crime away, and then they feel threatened because now they're not allowed to just kill people because who needs that? They may, oh, we need to kill people because there's crime. Look at the crime; it's getting worse. That's their real mind.
Take the next right onto West 136th Street. Then your destination will be on the left.
They think they're extorting me. They think they're going to get me to believe that this is all my own fault. They're insane because they drugged me when I was in Baltimore, and I just was like, "What's going on?" Because it just was everywhere. They were attacking me, but they drugged me. That's the point. If they didn't drug me, I wouldn't have said shit. And it wasn't admitting to anything. It was just like, "What's going on? What are they doing here?" And I had like this big, I was sick, right? Had some sort of bug or something. But they drugged me. So don't think that's going to happen again. That's before I knew what it was. You got to understand, all of you. They interfered with my divorce and made it go like 4 years of torture. There's a lot more going on around what they're doing than what they're telling you. And that includes drugging people with drugs that in themselves are torture. It's not a system that says if you're not guilty, the drug won't affect you, that the operation won't affect you. That's bullshit. They just want to murder free of charge. They want to cause people to run off and rape one another free of charge. They want people to use drugs, force people to drugs free of charge. They've already been charged in the court of the Lord. They're all going to hell. They're not going to stand before God. And somebody goes, well, they get to stand before God. No, read it. Read that Bible. People of that design will not stand before God. Will not. God does not stand in the presence of such shit. And they go, what about murderers and rapists? Are you saying they're okay? No, what I'm saying is if they murder and rape based upon a possession of another person, that other person's going to pay for it. The Bible tells you that also. Oh, but I went in and I confessed to my Catholic priest. It don't work at that level. Again, they're not even supposed to see you at that level. Well, you mean gay people are okay, but cops aren't? What does that mean more? That means you cause them all to be gay and think it's funny. You and your parents and kids will do the same thing. So I was just like, who are they, Jim? I was talking to Jim on the phone. I'm like, what's going on or what's happening, and the problem is like Jim's saying stuff to me and it made no sense. But they think they're going to get me back. I can hear them all day. I don't know. I don't understand. What's happening? They keep willing me to say that. I was so fucking far asleep. It was what they were saying through me. Now, see, I was able to clear it and get it out. They actually possessed me to say that. Shortly after waking up, God discredited and declared a fraud in excited utterance because they can will it through people. Admitted to no crime, so don't let them put that in your head down. But they sit there all day long trying to get me to say that. I don't know what's going on. I was drugged, motherfuckers. The drug that killed Jonathan Luna. The same drugs that killed Deputy Director Dudley. The same drugs that caused Bustamante to pawn a shotgun and then walk off into Mexico and be shot. In fact, you all made that phone call. I don't care if you're an Overland Park cop and say, I don't do that. Your cronies do that. The people that pay you do that. Oh, blue line, blue line. He's talking against the blue line. The fact is, they kill the blue line. They're corruption, man. That's not the blue line. So all day instead of having conversations with a woman about getting married, I got these fuckheads, because that's what they're called. They got these fuckheads. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this. What's happening is some of their people are on their deathbed, and they take that and they mix it because they're repenting on their deathbed, and they mix it with their will for me to say it, so they can say it's me when it's hurting the head. That's their scam. So they don't know that people are freaking out on their deathbed that were part of the deep state. So they'll say, oh, see, it was that guy over there. No, the drugs in themselves are painful. There's no doubt I was drugged at the Wharf Rat at a lunch appointment that two contractors for seized assets in the Marshal Service scheduled for us. They used so much of the drug, I took one bite, and instantly I could feel it. Meanwhile, people that I've helped for 10, 20 years, actually 10 years, it could have been more than 20 years, I haven't been there 20 years, but for 10 years, that's a sign. They were still there at 20. But people I helped for 10 years, other law enforcement, were positioned on the outside, waiting for me to go outside, rip my clothes off, and run down the street so they could shoot me. That's who you all are, nothing else. And that's why you can't stop crime. That's why crime's getting worse. And that's why you will up some shit and it gets everybody else shot. Fucking garbage. You'll have fun in hell, believe me. Because you call that kind of stuff fun. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God and all its